What's up, my friend? Welcome back to another video, and today we are taking a look at a brand new library from Sonixinema called Intimate Legato Cello. This is the first library from them that have really caught my attention and has been on my radar ever since. Because if you know my style of music, I really enjoy writing the classic Disney style of stuff. So that usually means really melodic instruments and ones that have a really beautiful sound in general, out of the box, sounding really full and flowing and stuff like that. And after listening to the demos and walkthroughs of this library and discovering it on VI Control, I was definitely really interested. And so I got in contact with them, and they were very kind to offer a giveaway copy for you guys. So we'll do a giveaway at the very end. And in this video, we'll kind of go over the library a little bit. It's very simple, so you'll understand how to use it right away. And it sounds great. So big thanks to Sonixinema again for supporting this video. If you take a look here at the sales page, we can see that it is a legato cello library featuring a beautifully captured natural sounding legato performed by virtuoso cellist Nicholas Trygstad. Sorry, Nicholas. And then, yes, it kind of leans on the more raw and authentic side of things rather than having an overly processed sound, one that you would expect in a more natural context, right? And then just make sure you have 6.7.1 version of Contact, I'm pretty sure it is. And in terms of the size, it's 6.1 gigabytes uncompressed. Yes, there's the Contact version. And then, it's literally just a couple of microphone positions and a very simple instrument here. So without further ado, let's kind of dive in. Let me just noodle around for a little bit. I'll give you a sense of what this sounds like, and then I'll share my thoughts a little bit. So here we go. Here's the Intimate Cello Legato. All right, so you get a sense of the cello sound, the way the legato moves, and everything like that. First of all, let's share some quick facts here. It's basically one legato transition per note, basically. I believe it's one dynamic layer overall. So very similar to the approaches done by Audioperia and Orchestral Tools with their Soloist series. There's basically no chance for weird crossfading, any phasing like that. It's basically just one legato transition, one dynamic layer for the entire instrument. So you're going to get a really natural sound without having to risk any crossfading issues there. One really cool feature that I haven't seen in other libraries is the ability to basically rebow with this key switch. And so it's basically this A below the low C on the cello. So if I play a middle C, for example, and then I press this key switch, the red key switch, it rebows. You can rebow as many times as you want, of course. Rather than basically having to lift your finger up and press it down again, which sounds less natural, this rebow creates that bowed, rebow change that sounds quite natural. Actually, I really do like it. One other thing is that this is a entirely bowed legato in the library. It's not a slurred legato, so just keep that in mind. Which does mean that it's kind of suited to more slow melancholic melodies rather than really fast playing, because for two reasons. Number one, if you have a really slow legato performing fast passages, it's not going to sound that natural. It might sound like the instrument is struggling to keep up, right? And secondly, if you're bow changing every single note on a fast passage, that's not going to sound that natural either. Like usually you're going to have some finger changes, finger note changes, transitions in one bowing motion. Whereas for slower melodies, it's very common to use more of the bow for single notes, right? So then you can change for the other notes. So that's just another thing there. And then one final thing is that when you play the note, there's naturally going to be a rebowing after a period of time. There is no automatic loop, basically. So, for example, if I play the middle C and just hold it down, you hear that rebow there, right? And it's going to rebow as long as you hold the note down. Of course, you can rebow even sooner with that key switch, but just so you know, the rebow is there. So I reached out to them and asked if there's a way to disable that automatic rebow, and at the moment there isn't. But yeah, it's a pretty simple library, right? So just this one articulation, and you get the sound design controls here if you want. It's the reverb, the legato, speed, and intensity. I think the out of the box settings are actually, my favorite. So I haven't really touched these at all. And they do give you some snapshots in terms of where you want the positioning of the cello to be and how fast it is in terms of the response. Also, you can choose sustain instead of the legato patch. So if we just choose, let's say, the far sustains, let's see how this sounds. Right, so that's just one of them. Let's hear one more. Maybe the legato, but far fast. Let's see. Right. So it's a little different there. They give you tons of options here, 17 in total. But to be honest, like for my purposes, I probably use it for its default function out of the box, just playing these melodic slow lines that really sing beautifully. So then one question might be, well, how does this library actually compare to other similar ones like Tina Guo's cello or the Pacific Solo cello or other ones? And I think I'll do a separate video on those, comparing them just so we can hear them back and forth. But generally, I think this cello serves a much more neutral purpose in terms of melodic lines. Whereas Tina Guo's cello, for example, is much more passionate. The vibrato is a lot heavier, much more passionate in that regard. And it's also mixed with more baked in reverb as well. Like you could dry it up a little bit, but the sound itself is a lot more full and it sounds more quote unquote cinematic, right? Whereas this library feels like it's recorded in a smaller studio. It can basically stand on its own in a really intimate context, whereas the Tina Guo cello really fills up that sonic space in a really big way. So it's an entirely different context, even though the purpose of the library is still quite similar, being a legato cello. So this one will definitely serve as my all-purpose melodic legato cello, I think. Even though, there are no round-robin legatos, which could be an interesting update, actually. Like if they recorded two different types of legato transitions for each note. So for example, if I go from the F to the B flat, actually, let me just reload the patch here so we get back to the regular sound. And it's also for contact player, which is always a plus. So you don't even need the full version of Contact for this. But if I play F to B flat, back again, you hear that slide between the F to the B flat. It's the same slide every time, right? So if you have a melody that's going back and forth multiple times, then especially those transitions with a more portamento sound, those will stand out a little bit, right? So you can decide if that's something you like or not, but just know that that is something that I think could be really interesting to be fixed in an update or updated in general, is to have maybe at least one more legato transition recorded for each note transition. That might increase the size of the library for sure, but I think it's a necessary one, or at least a really great idea personally, in case you have those repeated notes. So, but yeah, all in all, beautiful library. I really enjoy the sound. I hope you do as well. And again, big thanks to Sonixinema for sharing a copy here. So let's quickly get into the giveaway. So first of all you need to do is fill out the form below in the description box. Just click the link there, enter your details, and you'll be entered into the system, where I can email you in a couple of days to let you know who the winner is. And I'll also be updating like when future giveaways happen, things like that, and I'll send you exclusive composing content each week. So to really help you with your music, that's part of one of the bonuses of signing up there. Number 2 is to simply leave a comment under this video. Let me know what you would use this library for, how you would use this legato cello. I'd love to hear. And number 3, as always, please leave a like on this video. It always helps the channel out. And if you're watching this after the giveaway has already ended, if you want to support the channel and purchase the library, then you can feel free to purchase it. Click the link in the description box below. I've left a link there where you can grab the library as well. And if you use the link, then part of your payment will come back to support me and the channel as well, which I greatly appreciate. There's no obligation, of course, but just so you know, you can support the channel that way if you want to. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next video, and take care. Bye-bye.